everybody, this is Faith from faithsbizacademy.com and welcome to my Ask Me Anything video series on YouTube. This video is on Ask Me Anything about business systems and processes. Just a brief introduction of myself. Hi, I'm Faith from faithsbizacademy.com. I am a certified business strategist and my mission is to help online entrepreneurs build a thriving business through selling easy-to-create digital products and effective, sleaze-free email marketing. Now, this Ask Me Anything series came about when I recently polled my email subscribers. I basically created a feedback form to get them to tell me what they're interested in to help me better decide what kind of products and courses to actually offer to them to meet their needs. And inside the feedback form, I invited people to ask me a business question. And we have collated over 140 business questions and we've categorized them into 7 different categories. So this particular video is to answer questions related to business systems and processes. The first question: what business tool or resource have you found to be the most beneficial to your business? The first thing that comes to my mind is my email service provider, which is ConvertKit. Depends on when you're actually watching this video. ConvertKit might have already been rebranded as Kit. Okay, but either way, I do think that the email service provider is really, really important because email marketing is the main driver of my business. So I grow my business reach. That means I try to meet new people in my business through collaborations like contributing to bundles and giveaways and speaking at summits. So that helps me grow my business reach to get more people onto my email list. But I send regular newsletters like 3 times a week, sharing with people business tips, resources, promoting my own products and services, as well as affiliate products and services. And that is so important, and that really helps me bring in sales for my business. So I would say that the email service provider is like the most beneficial or most important to my business. But then there are other tools and resources that includes there is WordPress, because that's where my website is it's created using WordPress, right? And then my web host is Big Scoots. They've got great, fantastic customer service, and I've never had any issues with them. I think there were probably like a handful of times where there was a website downtime, but they responded so quickly, and every time I had an issue, I reached out to them. I got like help and support super fast. They were super friendly also. So that's the web host part of things. And for shopping cart to sell my products and services, I use ThriveCart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include my tech stack, a Google document where you can see a list of all the different tools and resources, all the platforms that I use for my business. And if you're interested, you can check them out in the video description, my tech stack. Next question: how to set up and fulfill your own website? Well, unfortunately, this is not something I can just answer verbally like that. I also think it's not possible to do a walkthrough for an entire website. I am not a techie person. I struggled with setting up WordPress. It was a steep learning curve for me. And if you also struggle with tech, my advice is spend a little bit of money and hire somebody to do it. I think I struggled for 3 months because I guess I didn't have too much budget. So I was really just trying to learn everything on my own and figure everything out on my own. So I chose the free way, right? Which is possible. Just Google for tutorials and Google for whatever articles that can help you and refer to documentations. But that being said, right, if you can actually find somebody to do it, I think when it came to my second website, I didn't have the time and capacity to do it. So I just wanted to outsource it. And I believe I got it at less than $100 for somebody to just help me set up the WordPress, install the WordPress theme, and just get the basics going on. So you could definitely hire somebody to do it. You could search on freelancing websites like Fiverr and whatsoever to find somebody to help you. And shouldn't cost you too much, okay, just to get the basics set up. So unfortunately, I really am not a tech person, so I try not to do tech tutorials because it's not my expertise. So find somebody or search for information, okay? I'm so sorry. How many shops or sales pages do you have? If creating different products such as PLR and creating for personal use, how do you separate them for sales? So I have 2 websites. My first website is for mummiesbymummy.com, which I started in 2018. faithsbizacademy.com was started in 2020. So I'm just thinking, is it 2020 or 2021? I think it's 2021 actually. So what caused the change? As the name suggests, the original website for mummiesbymummy.com targeted at moms, right? My focus was on actually selling personal use printables, mom planners, homeschool resources, basically printable kids activities, printable kids planners. So that was the main, the target audience and the products that I created for my first website. After that, I started wanting to blog about blogging, teaching other people how to make money online. So then as that branch of my business grew, I realized that, well, for mummiesbymummy.com no longer reflected the main aspect of my business. And therefore, for mummiesbymummy.com is still an active site, just poorly maintained, embarrassingly, but it is still live. But I decided to set up Faith's Biz Academy because then it reflects more of what my focus is, which is actually to create trainings and courses and coaching programs to help other people build online businesses. So my PLR products are under Faith's Biz Academy. My courses are also under faithsbizacademy.com. So currently I have ThriveCart, and I also have AMember Pro. I use AMember Pro to sell my PLR templates, my standalone PLR templates. I also have Faith Templates Vault, which actually sells Canva templates with commercial use rights. That Vault membership is under ThriveCart. Individual standalone PLR products are actually under AMember Pro. But I would say that most of my sales come through ThriveCart instead of AMember, because I do find that ThriveCart is a lot more sophisticated than AMember Pro, and I do have a lot more courses than selling standalone PLR products. And my focus is on getting people who want to buy templates to go through my Vault membership instead. So mostly everything is actually on ThriveCart. If you want to sell both PLR templates as well as personal use, I've definitely seen people selling both types of products within the same shop, but it wouldn't be my recommendation. I find that it's very confusing. Like, how do you actually differentiate the licensing, and how do you make sure that people are buying what they need, right? And using it according to the license terms. So I would actually prefer separate shops. I don't think I can tell you how many sales pages I have. Probably hundreds, because I have a product page for each product, and then I've got so many different sales pages for my different courses and programs. What do I want to say? I want to say that also the PLR and personal use basically have very different strategies. Like when I was focusing on formummiesbymummy.com, I was writing a lot of blog posts, and I did like Google SEO, keyword research, active in Pinterest marketing to drive traffic to that website, right? Whereas for PLR, I don't write blog articles anymore. I don't do Pinterest marketing anymore. I grow my business through collaborations, through promoting other people and getting my customers to be my affiliates, so they promote my products too, and speaking at summits, and even like creating tutorials or videos for YouTube and YouTube drives organic traffic. So the strategies are very different. So I find it better to actually separate them in different websites. And even if you have the same site, you might want to have different shops. And if you have an exact same shop, you really, really want to be very clear what products people are getting at. You know, like categorize them clearly, tag them clearly, separately, or have a way like if they go onto your homepage, they can click on different buttons that one click leads to all the PLR products only and another click leads to all the personal use, because you just want to make sure that the whole user experience is smooth and is not confusing. Next question, do you need to add legally required website pages like privacy, terms and conditions to every page, like opt-in or sales funnel pages? That's something that has been confusing to me. I was thinking a sticky footer across all pages could work, but I also don't tend to see those links on most people's opt-in forms and whatnot. I don't really like to answer questions that talk about legal stuff. I'm not qualified to do that. My best advice is for you to seek legal counsel from some professional, okay? But I do use legal templates, privacy policy, terms and conditions and stuff like that. They are on my website. There is a sticky footer, and for ThriveCart, if you see my pages, I believe they have updated all of my ThriveCart checkout pages such that in the section where you see the payment information, like the name of the course you're buying, the amount, there is also links to each of these, the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, the cookies and disclaimers, stuff like that. So they are there. I guess that is the right way to do it, that it should be there. Okay, once again, I don't want to be legally liable. I don't want to be liable for any advice. I'm not giving legal advice, so please look for somebody professional to give you legal advice. But I do use legal templates, and on my WordPress website, the footer, the header menu should have all the templates. Should give you links to directly to all my templates. Not templates, to the legal pages, and on my ThriveCart checkout there are also links to the legal pages. What are the first steps to creating an online business with ebooks, printables, courses, and where to begin? I have loads of software now and I keep getting stuck with the beginning steps. Should I have an Etsy shop with 1 or 2 products, and as I build them, try to begin a mailing list? I'm in a holistic field and I have the shiny object syndrome, as all the lovely content I buy looks exciting. And I think I can do something creative with it, but then I get overwhelmed. Sorry, my bad for not like checking grammatical errors and stuff like that. I basically just copied everything from the feedback forms, the questions, onto this, okay? I didn't really like edit the questions, and I think most people are just like typing it out in a rush. Okay, so anyway, time is a big factor as I mind kids too, do voluntary work, run a holistic practice 1 day a week. I'm 59 years old, single, and really need an income for my later years. I love being creative and love Canva. Thanks, Faith. First steps. Where to begin? So if you don't want to deal with like tech, I would say Etsy is probably the easiest way to get started. Because Etsy actively drives traffic to Etsy stores. And I think the way to be favored by Etsy is to make sure that, of course, you got to do your keyword research, you have to have optimized product titles, product description, beautiful and attractive product banners that can, well, capture people's attention. Yeah, and it's the easiest to get started. It's not difficult to learn how to use Etsy or set up an Etsy store. So I actually think that if you don't want to deal with the tech and you don't have that much time, then setting up an Etsy store could be your easiest way to get started. Yeah, so once again, it's in the Ask Me Anything video on product creation, I keep talking about understanding your target audience. And I would just like to mention it here because, like, what are the first steps and where to begin? Then you should start by asking yourself, who is your target audience? Who are you trying to help? What kind of problems do they have, and what kind of solutions can you provide, right? So for example, if I'm trying to help moms, which was what my focus was, and they want to look for homeschool resources, and therefore I would be creating printables. And I created lots of kids printables activities, kids planners, and stuff like that. So because I knew who my target audience was, it was easy for me to create. Because I knew who they were, I knew what their problems were, and therefore what solutions they would need. And those were solutions that I can provide, right? So I started creating all those. So ask yourself who is your target audience and what they're looking for, and then that will help you decide the type of products to create. And I would say always start with the thing that is easiest to create first. Like, I think a printable would be so much easier to create than a course, right? And you can get access to like templates. Hi, join my Vault template membership. It would be so much easier to create printables than courses. So choose something. After you know who your audience is, what they need, what you're going to create, choose the product that is easiest for you to create, okay? And then you expand on that later. If I were to create my first design and I want to list on Etsy, what legal things do I need to take care of to protect my creations? What company or programs are recommended? Keeping in mind, most of us don't have a lot of money to invest up front. I totally agree, because I didn't have a lot of money up front to invest in my business either. I was definitely looking for a lot of free stuff. Look at my video description below. I'm going to include a Google document that talks about my tech stack, the resources that I use, and there's some free templates that you can grab from there. Using legal templates would be probably the most affordable and effective way to cover your bases, okay, at the beginning. I like I said earlier, I don't particularly fancy answering questions relating to legal issues because I'm not qualified, but you can see what I use or who I recommend in the tech stack in the video description. It seems like there are so many things to do when starting. If you had to choose between creating more products or creating an email sequence for your products, which would you focus on? I don't think it should be mutually exclusive. It should be together. I know this is probably not like the answer that you're looking for. You have to do both. You have to do both, right? Because why? Because when you create more products, nothing's going to happen until you promote them so that you can get the sales, right? So if you're not writing the emails, then even if you have tons of products, you're not going to get the sales because you're not promoting them. And then if you keep writing lots of emails, but you have no products, then you have nothing to promote, and therefore you make no sales, right? It goes hand in hand. So I would suggest that you come up with like a routine where, for example, 4 weeks in a month, the first week you focus on creating a product. The second week you write an email. And the third week you create a product. So in fact, it cannot be mutually exclusive. I'm sorry. In fact, it should happen concurrently. 5 days a week, okay? You should spend like, for example, 2 days creating the product and 2 other days writing the emails. It should happen concurrently, okay? So that you are spending time nurturing the email. And even if, let's say, you're still in the midst of creating a product and you don't yet have a product completed and ready to sell, you want to nurture that audience. Because if you're only going to appear in their inbox when there is something to sell, then people are going to unsubscribe because people feel like you don't care about them. You're just wanting to make a quick sale. Then they don't see the value, they don't trust you enough, then there's no reason for them to buy from you. So the email has to be ongoing. I would say you need to be sending emails at least once a week, and then the products has to be ongoing as well. So I really don't think, I'm sorry, this probably doesn't sound like a good answer, but like, because you're asking me to choose between A or B, and I tell you that they both have to happen. But it is true, they both have to happen in order to be effective, so that you're regularly creating products and you're still regularly getting in front of your audience to nurture that relationship, to build that know, like, trust factor, so that it gives them reason to buy from you. So it's all about scheduling. Like, just a brief, just to share with you, right? So I sent emails on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So in my schedule, those are the days that the highlight of the day is to write that email. Email takes priority over anything else. Of course, not over family, right? Like, family and health are the priorities. But when we're talking about a business, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, email is non-negotiable for me, because email every time I send an email, I get sales, whether it's promoting for my own product or promoting somebody else's product. If I don't write an email, I don't get sales. So it's very important. It is the main driver of my business, which is why I say it's a non-negotiable. Of course, it didn't start like that, right? It took a while before it becomes regularly profitable, and you have to start somewhere. So even if you feel like you're not yet making money, you have to write that email. You have to write that email every week. You have to get into the routine of writing that email. You have to get into the habit of writing that email so that it becomes easier and easier for you. So to me, scheduling it is super important. That means you fix a day of the week that you will write that email, that you will send out that email. It is a non-negotiable. Put a pause to that product creation and send that email. Even if you don't yet have something to promote, tell people that, hey, I am in the midst of creating something, and here is like a snapshot of it or a sneak preview of it. You can try to generate interest and curiosity for the product even while you're creating it. So both have to happen at the same time, okay? When you first started planning your own business, how do you manage not to get pulled in and drown with all the various platforms and resources available, each with its own benefits and features? How do you decide which ones to start with and stick with? Easy. Budget. Budget has always been a concern. Let's talk about email service provider. I started with MailerLite because the free version comes with lots of advanced features, and I could only afford free, so I used MailerLite. 3 years down, when my business started becoming profitable and everybody was talking about ConvertKit, then I thought, okay, since I'm going to set up a brand new website, why not try ConvertKit, right? Because everybody's talking about how great it is, how the tagging system, automations are so sophisticated. And now that I could afford it, I wanted to try it. And it took me 3 years to actually to start using ConvertKit. So budget has always been the main deciding factor. Okay, which was also why I started selling printables on using WooCommerce, which is a free plugin on WordPress. And then after that, I also used SendOwl, which was also free to start with. It used to have like a 30-day free trial. I cannot remember the exact pricing now. Please Google and search for SendOwl. But it's also super affordable. It was also why I didn't use Shopify, because Shopify is more expensive than SendOwl. And it also took me like so many years before I bought ThriveCart, right? So budget and affordability are my topmost concerns. It's also what I actually recommend to my clients whenever they ask me about platforms. How do I say it? I feel like people really shouldn't be worrying about platforms and resources. There will never be the best, right? ThriveCart, for example, there could be so many people who say how great ThriveCart is. But then there is another group of people who say how terrible ThriveCart is. So no matter what platform you use, there will always be a group who raves about it and they're super pro it, and there's another group who is super anti it. So there's never an end to the comparison. There will never be the perfect platform, because even if, let's say, platform A doesn't seem as good now, they might have like a revamp or whatsoever. They add new features and it could be suddenly be a lot more attractive 1 year down the road. So this Googling or researching for reviews or keep asking people, like if you keep going around asking people, you're just gonna fall into the rabbit hole and not get anything done, because you'll be stuck with the thought that I'm not getting the best platform. You're not getting the best platform. Okay, let me just tell you outright, you're not getting the best platform, because there's no best platform. You just have to pick one that works for you now. There are people who want to buy something that they feel that with certainty that they can use it for years, and therefore they don't want to be stuck with a point where they need to switch from one platform to another, other types of hassle in between, and therefore they want to find something that they feel can last them for a longer period of time. That is fair enough. But yet, like I said, what makes you so sure that this platform that you're investing in right now will still be the best 3 years down the road, right? So which is why to me is always pick one that feels right, that works right now. Okay, because if you're struggling to get your business up and running, investing a lot of money in a particular platform is only going to stress you out, right? Like I said, which is why I couldn't bring myself to use Shopify, because I wasn't earning more than $30 a month. It didn't justify my cost, and therefore I used something which was free, WooCommerce, and Thrivecart is a one-time payment, $500, and yet it took me so long before I finally took the plunge, so it doesn't matter. Yes, there was some hassle changing things around, but I would really rather that you don't get stressed out because you just invested a lot of money in a particular platform because everybody's raving about it, and you feel like if you don't get it, you're FOMO, and then you bought it. But after you bought it, you realize that, oh, now you're in the red because of this big investment, and then now you're getting stressed because you're not selling stuff. So you can always upgrade along the way. So pick one that best fits your budget now and upgrade along the way when you make sales. What program should I use to start an email list if I'm only currently selling on Etsy, and how would I get customers to opt in? What is that email service provider? I can't remember. Was it MailChimp? I think. Okay, this is a Googleable question, okay? I think MailChimp is the email service provider that allows you to integrate directly with Etsy and allow you to collect email addresses. I'm sorry, I'm actually just trying to Google at the side because I'm not sure, but it is a Googleable answer. I think so. I think MailChimp is the one, but I've never used MailChimp before, and even when I was more active, I have an Etsy store. It brings me trickles of sales passively. I don't actively manage it. I've not put a new product there for years. But I do have MailerLite. I have a product banner, and in an announcement section, I would say like, oh, you can grab this freebie from this place, and that actually leads to like a sign up form, and that would be how I can integrate them onto my email list. But I do think, please check on Google again, I do think that MailChimp is the one that can be integrated directly with Etsy. When I'm just starting out and need to decide between promoting affiliates, creating a product but need to learn platforms, and needing traffic without a list, is like the chicken or egg. Yes, I agree. Which needs to be first to be able to start making income to sustain myself through the learning and implementing of building my successful business? Well, it cannot be mutually exclusive. It cannot be mutually exclusive. Just like the question that I answered just now, between writing emails and creating products, they cannot be mutually exclusive. They have to happen concurrently. So think of it as basically scheduling out your time in the week to dedicate to different aspects of your business. I really don't think that you can phase your business such that I am only learning something now, I am only creating a product now, I am only promoting my own product now. I don't think it works. Because if that is your choice of how you want to grow your business, then it's probably going to take you a really painfully long time. Okay? Multiple aspects have to be running at the same time, and it's all about scheduling and, basically making sure you have enough time to do a bit of everything. Okay? Which also means, like, for example, if you need to learn Thrivecart, set aside 1 or 2 days after you purchase it. Set aside 1 or 2 days to get things set up. I think that requires your utmost focus, right? And then after that, move on to creating your product and then listing it. So there is that intertwined thing, right? Because if I were to say that you spread out the learning of Thrive Cart over a few weeks, that doesn't make sense too, because it is a shopping cart. There is a sense of urgency to get it started, to get it up and running so that you have something to sell. Now, the other thing is also, it could be boring to just focus on one single thing, which can be very draining and all that, especially if it's tech stuff and if you don't like tech like me. So, so you have to kind of spread out your time, but a lot of things actually need to happen concurrently. So, promoting affiliates, so the benefit of like promoting affiliates is that you could be making affiliate income before you even have your own product, right? So it shouldn't be mutually exclusive, that you should still be taking time to write the emails, and then on your emails, even if you don't yet have a product to promote somebody else's product, and then that gives you the opportunity to make affiliate income. So multiple things have to happen at the same time. Okay, once again, like I said, my days are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They are definitely for writing emails. Right now, I'm recording this video at night when everybody's asleep, the whole house is quiet. So otherwise, I actually record my videos in the day where I also have the house to myself when the kids are at school. So I schedule my day according to when is best for what, right? So in the day when the kids are at school, that is the best time where I can focus on recording emails and also running Zoom calls with my coaching clients. And then in the afternoon, I have to multitask, chauffeur the kids around, sit in the living room to actually do my work while, sometimes still helping my kids with schoolwork, still doing other stuff, housework and stuff like that. So then I'll be doing like maybe product creation, like creating Canva templates or writing emails, things that don't require like 100% attention. I can still get distracted sometimes. Like I could still attend to my kids while I'm doing all that. So plan your schedule according to what needs to be done through the day and what time is best for what task. Okay, so your schedule the best, so plan accordingly. If you feel like you're an early morning person, then maybe you need to do things that require your most focus in the early morning, and then after that, so there will be different aspects. Okay, writing emails, creating products, finding affiliate promotions, learning. Even learning requires you setting aside time. Like right now, if you're watching this video, you are learning and you're setting aside time to learn. Okay, so I would also say set aside a couple of hours each week to learn, especially if you're actually going through a program where there's like live sessions, where coaching allows you to ask questions, then you really, really need to set aside time to learn as well. Okay, there would never be an end to learning and then you create and then you apply. No, it really has to happen concurrently. Will it ever not take me forever to list my products on Etsy? I can create them all day, but listing them with SEO, images, video description, title, and text, and all the rest takes forever. I actually hate it and would love to skip that part. Hire somebody to do it. Hire someone to do it. Find somebody, freelancer. It shouldn't cost you too much. But if it frustrates you so much, it takes the joy out of all this, then outsource it. Outsource it so that you can focus on things that you enjoy, probably the product creation part. And it gives you time and energy and space to do the things that you enjoy and you're great at. So, But unfortunately, it's supposed to get easier because you kind of know the steps. But yes, it still takes time. Because you have to create the products, you have to create the banners, you have to create a video, you have to write the description. So it takes time, yes. So if it's so frustrating and it's so time consuming, it might be worth hiring somebody to do it. Do you know of any information anywhere on the technical aspect of setting affiliates for your products? Yes, my course, Affiliate Marketing 101, is a 2-hour workshop that teaches you how to run your own affiliate program on ThriveCart and SendOwl and A Member Pro, and also tips on how to be an effective affiliate marketer. Okay, in the video description, there will be a link that says to my everything, where you see all the courses and programs that I offer. So check that out and look under the courses section, Affiliate Marketing 101. What is your number one tip for helping your children get involved in your business? I don't think my children are involved in my business. What they do is hover around me when I do my work on the dining table, right? Where I've got to keep my eye on them while they're doing homework and stuff like that. So they're just like, oh, mommy, what are you doing? And they look at my Canva. They like to, then sometimes I try to get a bit of their opinions. Like I would say like, oh, is this color better? Should this be here? And they would just give their feedback. So they're not involved. So yeah, it's really up to you. I don't know whether or not you want your children to be involved. It could be fun, you know. When I was creating more homeschool printables for my older site, for mummiesbymummy.com, I did kind of get them more involved. Like if I created a bingo game, I actually want them to play it. So, you know, it works and they're actually having fun. And I'll take some photos of them playing in action so that I could also share with my email subscribers like, hey, check this out. I created this and my kids are actually playing with it. So I guess that's also getting them involved. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to get them involved. It depends on what they like and depends on what they like and how you think that getting them involved would be helpful for your business. What is the most effective way to determine what systems are necessary for running an online service business? Check out my tech stack. I would say the basic one, you want to have a WordPress website. It is not absolutely necessary, but having a WordPress website is like having an office for your business. You actually want a place where your potential clients and customers can come and see like, oh, it looks so much more legitimate with like your domain name and like a nicely done up professional looking website where they can like, stalk you and find out what you do, who you are, check out your socials, any testimonials, right? So that is helpful when you have a website because it gives people insight into your business to help them decide whether or not they can trust you or whether or not they should be buying your products and services, right? So having a website is important. Like I said, you don't have to have one, but having one really helps with the professionalism of it. And then there is the email service provider, the shopping cart, depending on what digital products you want to sell. So check out my tech stack in the video description. Effective way to determine, like I mentioned just now, choose your whatever tool, resource, or system based on budget, because you really don't want to stress yourself out when you're not earning enough. For example, if you have a full-time job and you're trying to set up a side hustle as your online business as a side hustle, and you have enough cash to put in there, then yes, go ahead, right? But I really think that just go according to what you can afford comfortably without stressing you out. Okay, so check out my tech stack. Those are the tools and resources that I use for my business. I'm in the faith-based niche and I do print-on-demand designs, KDP, love creating printables, and want to start a blog. How do I connect all these avenues together into one business model? Well, then you probably should have a website where you can have a homepage that tell people what you do, who you are, and then slowly direct them out to KDP, to POD, to printables. So that website is like the home ground for everything because all of these things belong to you, right? So you want to have a WordPress website that connects everybody, that connects all of that together. How to automate my service business to move from one-off customers to a larger group. It really depends on what you mean by automate, because one-off customers to a larger group. Are you trying to say like customers that do one-on-one service and then after that to larger? But I don't understand what you mean by how do you automate. Like, I run services, I offer services, coaching services. I do both one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. So it really depends on how I structure my coaching program. Like previously, I did one-on-one coaching via email. So my clients would ask me questions via email, no Zoom calls. And then nowadays, I like to do Voxer with my coaching. So if it's service-based, I really think at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide how you want to offer your service. And instead of one-on-one, you could also consider group. So I also run group coaching programs. So for group coaching programs, it's then not possible to do emails. It's also less effective using Voxer. So then I have a Facebook group. I also have office hours on Zoom call, but none of these are automated because I'm providing the service, right? So it's active time investment. It's just how I plan out my time to make sure that, okay, this is sustainable for me in the long run because I'm offering like office hours once a month. It pays me enough, it's sustainable, and it works for the group coaching. So I hope I make sense. Yeah, because I'm not too sure what you mean by automating, because if it's services, chances are you're still you probably still have to do active time investment. But it's really up to you. You're the boss. You decide how you want to offer the service, under what circumstance, and how much time to invest in. What tools do you use to track data throughout your business? Where customers come from? Or conversion rates of a blog post. So I used to do, like I said, on my previous website for mummiesbymummy.com, there are a lot of blog posts there. So I used Google Analytics to track where people are coming from. There are some from Google SEO, some from Pinterest marketing. Now, I don't do that anymore because I'm not actively managing my old site. And now it's really just looking at ThriveCart to see the sales conversion rate, and then email service providers to see open rates and click rates. And yeah, so it's super easy. Just go to the admin dashboard and then grab the numbers from there. Okay, no other tools. How do you integrate SendOwl to MailerLite for FQB? I'm totally stumped. Oh, I'm sorry. It is actually in the training. FQB is actually my course, Faith's Quarterly Breakthrough. I actually have a training on SendOwl. I also have a training on MailerLite. Yeah. So for tech questions like these, actually, one of the easiest things is to check the documentations. Okay, like questions like how do I create a tag, or how do I set up automation on ConvertKit, on MailerLite. Chances are they already have the documentation on the platform itself. And you can always reach out to customer support. And for this one, I believe inside the FQB program for the SendOwl, you get bonus access to selling printables without a shop. Selling printables without a shop, which teaches you in greater detail on SendOwl. And I believe that shows you how to integrate it, okay? Yes, so that's it. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you want to work with me, if you need help, hands-on guidance and coaching and support to help you get your online business off the ground, well, please join my FBA Aspire coaching program. It is, I believe, the most affordable coaching program that is specially designed for aspiring and beginner entrepreneurs struggling to make more than $500 a month. I really want to help you get your business off the ground. You get access to 19 of my courses. I spend 6 months with you, weekly office hours, and monthly one-on-one support. If you want to find out more details, please check out faithsbusinessacademy.com/FBA-aspire, or fish out your camera phone, scan the QR code, you'll be led to the same page. The link is also in the video description, okay? If you have any questions about business systems and processes, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I read them, I answer them. And if you like this video, please share with your business buddies. And please, I would so appreciate it if you would like, follow, and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for more videos. I will see you around.